What's good, y'all? Today I'm gonna be showing y'all some modern R&B production techniques that you're probably not using. So I'm gonna be breaking down the techniques I use to make this full beat from scratch. All the sounds you heard in that, by the way, are in my brand new kit, Digital Romance, but we'll talk about that a little later. So for the first technique that I want to show y'all, I got this pad from Digital Romance. Here's how it sounds by itself. As you can hear, the volume is kind of coming in and out, giving it a lot of rhythm. So the way I like to do that, I'll put on a gross beat. I'll go here in these presets and go onto the repeaters section, and I'll choose sidechain A or sidechain B. And this is great for just making your pads or other sounds sound a lot more interesting. For the next technique, this is for synth basses. I have this bass that's also from my kit, but this only works with one shots. So I'm going to play the pattern on its own so you can hear what I'm talking about. It might look complicated, but it's really not. Basically, what I did is the bass kind of acts like a kick pattern here. I'll usually have these slide notes, and I'll have them either going into the note like this G sharp here, or going up an octave like this other G sharp. You can also have them transitioning to another note. This G sharp, it transitions to this B using this C sharp. Another tip for your basses, sometimes if I want to make the bass sound a bit more atmospheric, I'll actually add a reverb. I know that probably sounds crazy, but what you got to do is turn the mix down a lot and make sure you turn the low cut real high so that the reverb doesn't apply too much to the lows and doesn't make it muddy. So I'll show y'all an example. So yeah, that's just a way to make your basses sound a bit more atmospheric. So for this next technique, especially in R&B, I like to keep the melodies sparse. Have simple runs like this at the end of the bar or at the beginning, for example. And basically with these, you kind of want to just have a melody that goes down in the scale or up in the scale. This is also a one shot from the kit. As you can see here, I have a bunch of effects on it, but the main effects you definitely want to add is delay. And even though it's a simple melody that just comes in pretty rarely, the delay will make it more full. Another thing you could do is add some effect plugins like this EFX fragments that I added just to make it sound interesting, but you could use Portal or other plugins. I also added this fade in gross beat preset right here in the default tab, and I like to sometimes add this on runs just to make it come in a little bit cleaner so it's not so sudden. So that's a little technique that you could use as well. The next technique that I like to use is really just using phrases or accents to fill in or finish up melodies. This just makes the process a lot easier and quicker. You can get phrases from Splice, Arcade, or you can get them from kits. So these phrases are from my Digital Romance kit, just like everything else in this. I added some reverb and EQs to the synth phrases and delay just to make them a bit more full. And then for the vocals, here's a little technique. Of course, you have the typical effects that you would put on a vocal sample like reverb, delay, and EQ. What I also like to add is a chorus and a flanger. This combination usually sounds pretty good. And I just have these on the default preset and just turn down the mix a bit. So I'll show y'all how it sounds without these. Here's how it sounds with it. So it's pretty subtle, but it definitely makes the vocal sound a bit more atmospheric. So now I'm going to show y'all some drum techniques. All these drum sounds are also from the kit. And I don't think anybody really does this, to be honest, but I actually like to tune my kicks sometimes to be on the same note as the 808, and this kind of just helps it keep from clashing and kind of makes the kick and the 808 almost sound like one sound. I'll show y'all how the kicks sound if they were just tuned to C with the 808. So as you can hear, they're kind of clashing a bit, but if you just put it in the same notes as the 808, it sounds a lot cleaner. Another technique for your drums, I like to add kind of like ghost kicks, I guess you could call them, in between the 808s. So for example, like this. So as you can hear, there's a kick here and the velocity of that kick is lower. We also did it over here and I had these two kind of climbing up. That's pretty much it for this video. If you want to get the sounds in this, the link to Digital Romance will be in the description and the pinned comment. The full kit has over 200 sounds in it, including one-shots, analog lab presets, drum sounds, loops, and phrases. If you want the free demo version with over 70 sounds, the link to that will be in the description as well. This is definitely one of my best kits, if not my best kit yet, so definitely check it out. But besides that, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, and do all that, and that's about it. Peace.